Hello, we're back with another special episode. This is not the Paul Kaddish episode we promised. Paul is currently MIA. This is our pre-season look at Stevenage. You know, the lot managed by Steve Evans? I have a joke about that. What do Kylie Minogue and Steve Evans have in common? They're both spinning around, except Kylie isn't doing it with her chopper. Let's see how this goes. Christ, we're going to get sued. It's the lower league look. It's the lower league look. It's the lower league look. It's the lower league look.
Yeah, did that clap come through loud?
Fucking loud.
That's what we like. Clap back on the go. Guys, welcome to... Shit, what episode is it? It's episode 2 of season 2, so we can just go with that.
Yeah, let's do it.
Of the lower league look. You'll notice that Chris has changed. Chris has massively changed. Anyone who follows us on Twitter... Oh, I think I put it on Facebook. You'll know that Chris did another podcast for a while, a Bradford City one. It's taken off really well, as much as that pains us to say, because we didn't want to lose him, but we said to him, look, you can't split your time. It's going to affect quality on both. So Chris has gone there full time. It's called the City Event. Anyone who's a Bradford fan, or even if you're not and you're just interested, give it a look. Grant, I had my story here of what I was going to say happened to Chris.
I know, you've been really fucking nice.
Yeah, so essentially...
You've given it like, Chris is gone, he has to do this, go and check out the City Event, blah, blah, blah.
Okay, right, yeah, that's fine. We'll just carry on as if I didn't say none of that. So, guys, Chris came to us a couple of weeks ago and said that his dream was to play James Bond. Since he was a child, he's always wanted to play James Bond. Now, you know Chris, he's really short. It's been a thing that's been brought up many times. Chris is very, very short, but he went for an audition because they killed James Bond in the last film. Spoiler alert. But he got a role. So you can look out for him in this summer's blockbuster, 003.5, The World Is Not Tall Enough. Chris,
perfectly suits.
Hate that. But guys, we are delighted to be joined today from the Stevenage Podcast. We have Matt joining us to come and talk about Stevenage. Grant, what was that? That was.
I was trying to do a drum roll. I was trying to do a drum roll, but then I realised it doesn't come across in the mic, and I do that, and it looks like I'm playing a flute.
Yeah, Grant's playing Bassmasters.
Yeah, I don't know what he was doing there.
Yeah. Matt, welcome. Thank you for coming on.
Oh, look, fellas, no, thank you ever so much for having me on. It's I've been excited about this because, it's quite nice that we're connecting the podcasts and we're all coming together, big season coming up. So, I'm more than happy to come on and talk about our football club and our position at Stevenage, and also to meet you two fine young gentlemen, let me say.
Young's pushing it.
I was going to say speak for yourself, but I'm older than you. You won't know, would you?
No, I wouldn't even be out of town.
So let's talk about Stevenage. You had to be fair, a great end to the season when Steve Evans came in. He turned it around for you. You were in a lot of trouble. We had you sort of dragged right into it. We thought that for a time you were going to go down. I think, Grant, you were adamant Barrow were going.
Yeah, I was adamant Barrow were going even when they brought in Phil Brown.
Yeah,
I was
we don't like Phil Brown, so that's why.
Who does?
No, I don't think Phil Brown likes Phil. Only reason he's still got jobs in football is because his missus wants him out of house. But no, so we couldn't see they couldn't see where Barrow were going to get a win. I said they'd sneak one. Didn't think they'd smash Forest Green 4-0, but they did. They survived. You guys survived. We said bye to Oldham. Got to say this. Got to put this in because I don't know if you've seen Matt today. Oldham's takeover looks like it's been approved. 4 weeks.
Yeah, I've seen it.
4 weeks and it'll be done. So we can finally say goodbye to the horrible Abdallah Lemsagam, whatever his name is. I think that's how I pronounce it. Barry Owens as well. Barry Owens or Owen. Don't know what your name is, but we've invited you on this podcast many times. I'm going to keep poking you until you come on. Come on and talk to us. So, I'll be honest, people at Oldham don't like you. We don't like you. So let's talk. It'd be fun. So Matt,
I can't wait to see if it actually happens. Just someone that we really don't fucking like.
What an episode that would be, though.
Oh, it'll be a car crash.
The ice.
I'm gonna get
sued.
It. I'm gonna get sued. We thought we were gonna get sued a while ago by Peter Swan, who owns Scunthorpe, didn't we, Grant?
Oh no!
I thought we were gonna get sued in the last week. To be honest with you.
Wow, what happened last week? Oh yeah.
Yeah. We'll leave that though.
Yeah,
we'll tell
leave
you
that
after.
one. So yeah, right, Matt, your team. Let's go straight into it with it. So, end of the season last year, you released, I think, 15 players.
Mm-hmm.
So far, you've signed 11. How are you feeling? Do you feel that quality's been? Do you think you've replaced well, or do you think it's like for like?
Yeah, look, really good question. I just said to you boys, kind of off air, really. It needed to be done. The last 2 seasons, last 3 seasons actually, at the football club has not been good enough, and we've been, put in the bottom 4 now for 3 years, and we needed to clear all of that. And we needed to kind of start a new era at the club. And obviously finishing the back end of the season so well as we did, and the points that we picked up and a lot of the games that we won, we needed to start signing, proper League 2 players. So, yeah, look, we're over the moon about it. If I'm completely honest, we've signed some really good players. I'm, talking about players who have just won the league in Dan Sweeney from Forest Green and other good, real good talents from, the non-leaguers, Kane Smith, which really he could have gone and played League One football. Yeah, we've recruited really well. We're currently sitting here, I do believe we've got 17 players, with a few other players that I think are training with the team who aren't signed on yet. But we're sitting here, we're very positive, and I think this season's going to be a really exciting one. We're expecting us to hopefully be away from that bottom 4, which would be lovely for a change, just one season, just to, climb that table. But yeah, look, we're really positive. We want to see the club back up the top, and we've signed the players to be able to do that. So yeah, 1 month to go. Hopefully our pre-season preparations go to plan. We start this weekend. And, the man at the helm, which is Steve Evans, we're very excited to see what he can do for the football club, because we think he's a perfect fit.
Well, speaking of perfect fit, you need to buy him a belt so that his pants remain a perfect fit.
I knew it was coming.
Yeah, I mean, it had to, didn't it? It had to come. But you know what? Like, Steve Evans infuriates me because I don't like the guy. I don't think he's a great manager, but I'm finding it really hard to point out why. You know what I mean? This is the thing. It's very aggressive football.
Yeah.
I think dad with Phil Parkinson, he just doesn't like him.
Yeah.
I think what it is with Steve Evans, and look, we hated him, not so long ago. We who does like Steve Evans? But this is the great thing about us in our position is when he's your manager, you love him, right? When you're against him, you hate him. So in that sense for us, and I look back to all the great times we had as a club, 10 years ago when we had the back-to-back promotions, Sir Graham Wesley. We don't call him Mr. Graham Wesley, we call him Sir Graham Wesley. He was that polarising figure. He was hated by everyone, but he was our manager, and it almost made us kind of us against the world type of, people at Stevenage Football Club. So look, I think in that regard, we're over the moon to have him. He's hated by everyone, but he's our manager, and I'm sure he's going to hopefully pull us to a few away wins and wins the season where people are very frustrated that they've seen Steve Evans get one over on their side. So yeah, I think he's that polarising figure, and look, we're happy to have him, really.
I'd rather you than us. He nearly became our manager, I think. Well, no, he touted himself for the Bradford job before we brought in our manager. So, do you know what? We'll see how this season goes. Do you believe he's the one to take you up? Do you think he can take you up? Do you think that these signings that he's brought in are of a quality to push at the top of the league?
Yeah, definitely. I think, look, first and foremost, we as a club in our recruitment have been poor the last 4 years. I think it's fair to say. What we've done as a club for the last 4 years, and it's probably down to the managers that we've had in charge at the club, very inexperienced people. We've panic bought players when they've come available. And, we haven't really thought about recruiting players to suit a style of football, right? And for the first time in a long time, Steve's come in and, all right, he kept us up and did a really good job at the back end of last season. But he signed players to fit a style of football that we want to play. So, we're sitting here, look, we haven't seen any football yet, of course, but I think with the people that he's brought into the club, top League 2 players, yeah, I think we're more than capable of being up there. Look, I'm not going to sit here and say we're going to win the league or, finish in the top 3.
HMS League's launched already.
The The thing is, the HMS Pistol League is stopping in so many towns before it leaves the season. It's insane.
And look, the thing is, right, anyone will say this from our club. I'm the most positive Stevenage fan. Honestly, ask anyone. If you go, is Matt Farley the most positive Stevenage fan? They'll go, oh my God, too positive, right? But I'm not delusional. Look, I'm not sitting here to say we're going to win the league or finish in the top 3. But I certainly think we'll be in the top half of the table. I've been really impressed with the recruitment. We have wingers. You two are going to laugh at that. I haven't seen a winger at Stevenage in 5-6 years. We've signed wingers. It got to the point with us as a football club where someone would go, oh, wouldn't it be nice to have a winger? And I would go, what's a winger? Because we haven't seen one for 6 years. So, yeah, we've got wingers at the club now. We've signed Football League level people. Look, it looks promising. I'm not going to sit here and say we're going to be in the top 3. But, yeah, look, we can certainly get in that top half of the table this season.
Do you know, I'm currently looking just now at your past manager list and the win percentages that you have had under previous managers. So Steve Evans is currently obviously your highest since, I'm going to discount this guy because he was only in for 3 matches. Since 2008, you've been basically 30% and below. So you're looking since Graham Wesley back in 2008, you've had down at like 20-odd%, some in the 30s, 13%, 14%. It's been a dismal, it's clear to see, it's been a dismal time for you guys in and about the bottom 4.
Yeah, definitely. It's look, it's been a problem ever since Graham Wesley left. And actually, Wesley, when he left for Preston in 2012, and he should never have left because we felt like we were going to make the championship that year. We've always recruited a manager for how do I say it? Almost like a budget manager. We've never spent money on a proper manager. We've either got managers in that have been cheap options, right? So I'll list a few off. Teddy Sheringham. Oddly, you might think, oh, I bet you paid a lot for that. He was brought in. Oh, was you? Yeah, well, there you go. No, do you know what? Not a lot of people know he was our manager for a point. No. But, we brought him in. I don't even think we brought him in for the footballing things. I think we brought him in to build the fan base. I don't even think that was a footballing decision by the chairman. Darren Souls, another guy from the academy of the club. Dino Manria was a player, was a coach at the club previously. Alex Ravel, who's still with the coaching staff. And actually, Rev's probably out of all of them did the best job of the lot, really. But even Alex Ravel, first proper job in management. We've never recruited a Football League level manager. And actually, as you said, rightfully so, Steve Evans is the first manager that we've recruited with any Football League experience. So, yeah, look, we're probably the last kind of chance saloon for us in that respect. But no, you're right. We've never had a proper appointment of manager that's been at the club for more than 2 years, to be honest.
Wow. I'm glad I've got someone talking at the same level of football as I do as a Hartlepool fan, by the way, because we do the exact same. I'm hearing the same things. Cheap options, all that sort of thing. Never having a manager that's the first option that fans would want. You pull someone out the arse of nowhere.
Grant, we're the same. We're 8 managers in 4 years now. It seems to be a problem in this league that teams, and again, we banked on really sort of low end managers, and we did the same. We brought up the Mark Truman and Connor Sellers from the youth team. We brought them in. They did well on an interim basis. We gave them, I think, a 2-year deal, and then 3 months later sacked them both. I think a lot of clubs are doing that at this level. For the signings that you've brought, so I'm gonna list them for you here. So we've got Pia Gianni from Oldham, which, by the way, I think that's a great
fantastic signing.
Yeah. Aaron Chapman, Gillingham. Michael Bostwick, Burton. Michael Bostwick, again, another fantastic signing. Danny Rose, Northampton. Dean Campbell, Aberdeen on loan. Max Clark from Rochdale. Jordan Roberts from Motherwell. Dan Sweeney from Forest Green, as you mentioned. And Tay Ashby Hammond from Fulham on loan. Now, he's Fulham under 23s. I don't think he's ever made a full-time or a first-team appearance. But for you, who's your standout? Who is it? Pia Gianni, as we sort of alluded to there, or is there someone else that you look at and you think that's going to be the guy this season?
Yeah, it's a really good question because again, the players that you've just listed there are all credible players at this level. although Ashby Hammond, it's his first go in League Two. It's a really good question. When I look at our signings, I think the two that stand out for me are probably Piergiani and Sweeney. Carl Piergiani's a player that we've all known for years when he was at Salford and he was on those programmes, and then all of a sudden he comes into the Football League, goes to Oldham. That was a real coup for us, and I'm over the moon that we've been able to bring Carl to the club. Equally, Dan Sweeney, he just won the league with Forest Green. I think he played 30 games last season for him as well. So, he's had, he's involved in that side. I would probably say them two. However, there is a player, kind of simultaneously, came with Ashby Hammond. We signed a player called Kane Smith for Boreham Wood. Now, I didn't know too much about Kane Smith, I've got to be completely honest. But when we signed him, all of our fans were going, oh, my God, this is the best signing we've made in about 5 years. I was thinking, look, I'm from Boreham Wood. So I did my homework, and this guy that we've signed, Kane Smith, he is a really good talent. Now, a lot of championship sides were apparently trying to sign him, League One sides. He decided to come to us because he lives locally. So I've been sitting here talking about Piergiani and Dan Sweeney, but Kane Smith, keep your eye on him for us. He's an absolute bowler, apparently. So
tomorrow, doesn't he?
What was that, sorry?
He officially signs tomorrow.
Yeah, he does. So he comes in 1st July. Yeah, officially. But him and Ashby Hammond know each other because obviously they're at Boreham Wood. But he's brilliant. I watched some of his clips when he played against Everton in the FA Cup for Boreham Wood. He looks class. So, again, I'm sitting here talking about Piergiani and Sweeney and Danny Rose as well, to be fair. That's a cracking signing. Yeah. But Kane Smith, keep your eye on him because I think he's going to be one of the players of the season for us.
It's funny because you look at players that come in from the National League. You find that some of the National League teams, your top 10, those teams could quite easily compete in our league. The only reason they're not is because we're not working in a 3-up, 3-down system. And players like him would probably rightly be in our league if that system was in place, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, I spoke to someone who, I think it's Ollie Bayliss, who does a lot of the stuff for the National League. I was speaking to him and he said, do you know what you've technically done? And I said, what? He said, with Ashby Hammond and Kane Smith, you've gone into the National League and gone, right, 2 best players in that division, here you go, come up to League Two. And I was like, oh, wow, really? Went, yeah. He went, there. He said, they could really play League One football, really, both of them. So that did surprise me when he said that. So, yeah, I think you're right. I think that National League now, the margin gets closer every year, doesn't it? But because of the system they've got with only 2 coming up, you don't get to see the other sides who could probably compete in League Two. So yeah, I think a lot of those players could make the jump. So it'll be exciting to see how both of them do. I certainly think they'll both start for us. I think it's a no-brainer. So yeah, it'll be exciting to see how they do.
I think they've got to start. You've not got enough players left. You kicked everyone else out. They've got no choice. It's going to be a really, really interesting season. Like it is. We said we started this in January. I think, Grant, we started doing this, and we said that we started as a laugh. Yeah, we did just start it as a laugh, but it's kind of taken on a laugh.
That's all the best creations are, by the way, fellas. They all come off, as a bit of banter, and then after a few beers or whatnot, you get them started, and you see how much of a success it is.
Yeah, we lost Chris for 4 days after a few beers. He just vanished. We tried to record an episode and he just didn't come back. He turned up on the Wednesday. He was like, "Right, boys, let's go." Like, Chris, we've been trying to record since Sunday.
Please come back, Chris.
This is when he fucked off to Scunthorpe.
Yeah, we sent him to Scunthorpe on a vlogging mission, and he just I got videos from Scunthorpe fans of him in bars late on the Saturday night. He just
fair play, Chris. You know what I mean?
Oh, I loved it. He's like an honorary Scunthorpe fan. But we said that last season was probably the best time to start doing something like this because it was such a tight league. But then looking at this league coming up now, it's even worse. And it really is. I think I said it last week. If it wasn't for the quality, like the transfers across the board in this league this season, the majority of them have been really, really good. If this was any other season, I would think that you guys would be up there with the signings that you'd made, but it's not that I'm saying you're not going to be. I think you're right with the top half. It's going to be so hard this season.
It is, yeah.
Who's missing? Or not who, but what's missing from your team? Where do you think you're still lacking? Where do you want to see strengthened? Are there any rumours that we don't, because we don't always hear about them, but are there any rumours of people coming in or other people leaving? You can't have Omar Bogle, by the way, because Omar Bogle.
No, we'd have him. Well, no, actually,
what a shame.
We'll keep Luke Norris. We prefer Nozza. No, good question. Look, we're not that far off, to be honest with you, chaps. We've got 17 players. Obviously, there's a few that are training with the team that could be announced with the squad again, who were at the club last season. Players like Arthur Reed that play for us that are free but are training with the team, if you know what I mean. So we're not that far off. I mean, the defence looks sorted. We've got 2 goalkeepers that are going to compete for that number 1 spot, which we haven't had for a long time. When I think about the Stevenage teams in the last 7 years, we've only had just 1 goalkeeper that is going to play all game. We've got 2 goalkeepers now that could just play equally. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's all done. The midfield looks like it's pretty much there. If I had to say where we could probably sign 1 or 2 more, probably a right winger. We've got a left winger, but we haven't got an established right wing player. So maybe a right winger, maybe another midfield player. But we're not far off. We're really not. We've made I like to say, the important signings that we needed to make. The Sweeneys, the Roses, the Piagiani. So we're nearly there. I think we'll probably take the pre-season now and give a few players a trial and see if we sign any players from then. I think a lot of those trial players have probably travelled with the team to Jersey this weekend to get some minutes as well. So to allow Steve to watch them and see if they're a right fit for us. But yeah, look, we're not far off. But I would say right winger and probably 1 more midfield player, to be honest.
I think the other thing that's taken my attention from you guys is it's not just on the pitch that you guys are looking to make an improvements and step forward as a club. You're also looking to do things off the pitch as well. You've just appointed Chris Ross now. Am I right in saying that as your COO?
Yeah, that's it.
That's come out in the last kind of week or so. He's come from Scotland. Is it Greenock? He's come from.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Why is everyone dipping into Scotland during this transfer window? What's going on?
I don't know either. Well, obviously, our manager being Steve Evans, we'd expect it, really. But do you know what? That's a really weird situation for us because we had Dominic Jordan, who came in as CEO in March time, February. And it was all really weird. He was talking about, and Dominic, from his time at the back end of the season, did a great job connecting the fan base, which has been an issue at the club probably for about 6 years. Connecting the fan base, getting people talking about us as a club again. And I was actually speaking to Dom only a week ago in the club shop. I popped in to buy the new home shirt. And he was talking about having a great season. And then, Friday, it's like, oh, Dominic Jordan's gone. We've got a new, I say CEO, it's actually COO. Now, which is just
operating officer.
It seems to be a new position that's come in many football clubs. This COO recently. We've seen it now, and I've seen it at you guys. It seems to be this new position that people are labelling about as someone running the full operations of a football club.
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong about us as a club, though. To answer your point earlier, it's been one of the criticisms at our club actually that we haven't done well on the pitch, but off the pitch, we've been great. As a football club off the pitch, that's been one of the things that I've been really proud about. When we first came into the Football League over 10 years ago now, it was obviously going to be really difficult for us. Probably similar to yourselves with Hartlepool, being a smaller club, making that jump, trying to, improve and progress. Where I look at the journey and how far we've come as a club, it's mind-boggling. I mean, just the way the club looks, building the new North Stand as we have at the club where I've got a season ticket in, the club looks so much different now. And the club off the pitch has made huge strides. We were a big part when coronavirus hit in doing a community care line for the community. That was a big thing at the club. The sponsorship, we have Burger King and Prime Gaming now, and so we've made massive strides off the pitch. But again, people criticise and say, well, we want to see strides on the pitch, not just off the pitch. So I think we're at a position and a crossroads now where it's come to that time now where, look, we still want to keep the work going off the pitch, but we want to see it on the pitch now. So, but yeah, look, things off the pitch have been great. Yeah, I call it Kuro, the new coup, the COO. New coup. Look, I don't know much about him. I'm assuming he'll come in and galvanise the admin at the club, but I think it'll be nice to get to know Chris and kind of hear what he's got to say on what he wants to do at the club. Really,
has he been involved with your new away kit?
I don't think so.
I want to shake the hand of whoever designed that away kit. It is beautiful.
So I don't know if you know this, but it's not the first time we've had a purple kit.
Yeah.
So I think this actually has been in the making for a long time. So last season, we did this third kit release, which was purple, same purple, Prime Gaming. Although the sticker had white on it, it didn't look great, but it looked nice for the eye. So I think the club, off the back of that, a lot of people bought that shirt. I think the club thought, oh, do you know what? Next season we'll make that the away kit, but make improvements. I'm going to back it as well. I think it's beautiful away kit. And do you know what? To be honest with you as well, the home kit, that's an old classic that we've revamped and made a new classic as well. So I'm really happy with the new kits. I think they look great. I think they look superb.
The home kit is very Marmite for me. You're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. The away kit, I sent it to Grant earlier. I was like, Grant, you need to just look at this kit, and we'll both just like, that is.
Don't ask me to pronounce who makes it.
Oh yeah. So everyone knows Grant's Scottish, and we found out tonight Grant has a thing for making names sound Scottish.
Macron.
So your kit is the same make as us, Macron, and Grant went, oh, it's made by Macron. I said,
oh, not Macron.
Macron.
Yeah,
he's Scottish-ized it.
It's like you've skipped out the A and just left the C at Macron.
Macron.
Oh no, we can't be having that. We can't be having Macron.
I'll change it now to Macron.
There you go, Macron.
They go really American for it.
Yeah, they've made our kit and our home kit. I do like.
Everyone in our league seems to either be going through Macron or Area
or Hummel.
Yeah, Hummel. I mean, we've had Macron. How many years have we had Macron now? Because we did have Feeler at one point. I think we've had Macron for about 6 years. We've had Macron for ages now, I think, as a club. I like Macron. I think the gear Macron do is all right, to be fair.
Yeah, it's very small fitting.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Crikey. Yeah, I was having this chat with someone in our club shop, a lovely lady called Janet. I go in there all the time and pick up tickets and stuff. And I was trying one of the shirts in the club shop the other day. She went, oh, yeah, try and go for the bigger size. And it's taking a mick out of me for a second. I was thinking, you what, Janet? But she went, no, it's just the sizing. Oh, thank God. But no, the Macron, they do come up tight. I've got to be honest. Crikey.
That's the Italians for you. That's they like it. They like
skin tight. It could have
O'Neill's. All ripped and fit, aren't they, the Italians?
Well, Grant's right. They had O'Neill's last season, and halfway through the season, O'Neill's just went, right, we're done now, and just stopped producing kits.
Oh, crikey.
We had no kits in the club shop. None.
We went up in March. We actually met in March to go and watch Bradford play Hartlepool, and went to the club shop, and there were no replica kits.
Oh, stop
Nothing at all. They just they knew that the sponsorship deal was coming up. They knew that they weren't going to stick with O'Neill's, and they just said, we're not going to make you no more kits.
God.
Insane.
I mean, for a large, you had to get a 3XL.
Yeah. To be fair, it's not much different with Macron.
It was bad.
Yeah.
Bad with Macron.
Do you know what? You've changed my mind. I'm going to start calling that Macron from now on, honestly. You slipped it in there, I swear to God.
So looking into your first few fixtures when we're coming into the actual league yourselves, you're away to Tranmere, first game of the season. Then you've got Stockport, and then you've got another team who's done a massive rebuild in Walsall. What's your thoughts on your first 3 games of the season?
Immediately when I saw the fixture list, and as you do, you sit there almost like a kid at Christmas, didn't you, refreshing the page, and it come up, and I was like, oh wow, Tranmere and away and Stockport home. I'm actually really happy with it, and I've had this debate with a few people. When the fixtures come out, a few people went, oh, Tranmere away, tough place to go. We don't have the best of records there anyway, and Stockport at home, really good side coming up. But I've got this debate and this point that actually I'm really happy with those opening 2 fixtures, because I think if you want to play those teams, you want to play them early. I think those games, especially Stockport, as you know, with teams coming up from the National League, sometimes it can take a few months to get going. So I don't want to be playing Tranmere away and Stockport at home in December, January, February. So I'm actually really happy that those 2 are the first two opening games. I actually think because of that, they're actually winnable games. We're going up there with a new team, and with the players that we've recruited, they're all experienced League Two level lads. So, it's not going to be one of those things where those players are phased. I think they're really good fixtures to open with, actually. Likewise with it, I think if we're able to go up to Tranmere and get a win or win against Stockport, it's good confidence for a new team going into the season. Tranmere are probably going to be somewhere up there again. They always are. So that's also a big positive. The games after those two, as you mentioned, Walsall, and I think also we've got Rochdale, Carlisle, I think they're winnable games. So in terms of our...
Home back-to-back within 4 days, you've got Rochdale and then Carlisle back-to-back. And then you're Salford after that.
Yeah, honestly, I think for us, it's actually a really good start. So, yeah, look, I think we're positive about it. I think if you're asking me on my opinion on how I'd realistically, what do I think from those games? I wouldn't mind even taking 2 draws to start, to be honest with you, against those two sides. I think Walsall's winnable, as you said, big turnover there. I think that's certainly a game that we can win. Likewise with Rochdale and Carlisle. So, yeah, good start for us. I was actually quite happy with it. Also, me and a few mates, we always, whenever Borough play away, we always go and do City weekends. So we're very happy to have Liverpool for the opener. We've all booked up that, and we're going to go up and have 2 nights in a month. So yeah, look, over the moon with it. And it's a cracking opener. They're probably going to have thousands there, and Stevie Boy's going to be taking a mick on the touchline. So yeah, we're over the moon with it.
He'll be in his element. So who for you then? We moving on from Stevenage here. Who? There's been I mentioned about transfers and how there's been a lot of really good transfers, but who are the standouts for you aside from yourselves? Who have you looked at and seen signing after signing and gone, yeah, that's a good one. That's going to be a very interesting team next season. Like, who do you think are going to be the dangerous teams next season? And what signings have you seen that you've gone, oh, we'd have loved to have made that, or I wish we'd have brought someone like that in? Like, what do you think?
Yeah, good question. To be honest with you, I was really surprised. Well, not so surprised, but the Dominic Telford signing for Crawley, obviously. But obviously, with the money, I can see that instantly. Or although you would think Telford would go up and play a league higher, but with the money sense of things at Crawley, I could see that coming. But nevertheless, that was a real eye opener of a signing. I thought, wow, Dominic Telford going there. I think yourselves at Bradford, to be honest with you, have made some really good signings. I certainly think Bradford will be right up there. Do you know what? It's a really difficult one this season because the teams naturally that you would assume would be up there, teams like Mansfield and Tranmere, I'm not so certain about those sides this season. I don't know what it is. I'm not certain about them sides. I think it's an open league. I tell you who has actually surprised me a little bit. I've got a friend who's a Barrow fan.
Yes.
And and obviously with Pete Wild going there, he's got a big connection with Barrow, who's a really good manager, and they've been surprisingly making some good signings. So I think it's a pretty much open division. If I had to pick a couple of teams that I'm quite surprised about, I would probably say Barrow as one, Bradford, and possibly Crawley with the Telford signing. That's a fantastic signing. So open league for me.
Yeah, the Telford one was. I'm still not really over it.
And I don't think that's going to be the last big signing that they make. Anyone who watches knows that we're sponsored by Wagner United, the guys who own Crawley. So we have regular contact with them, and we've been having conversations with Preston back and forth that week about signings and things like that. And this is public, so it's not a problem. We took a player out for a meal. Really, really expensive and popular. Your mic's gone muffled.
Mine has. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you. Quick mic check.
No one wants to see that tongue action, mate.
There's one person who does. She only listens on Spotify.
It's her birthday today.
Yeah. So, is it? No, it's not. With we spoke to Preston, and he took a player out for a meal to a really posh restaurant last week, and then 2 days later they announced Telford, and the first thing that we messaged was, "Is that the guy who you took out?" And he just went, No, the guy that we took out is bigger.
Oh, crikey.
So whoever this is the thing. He said Telford's massive for them, but whoever they took out and they did all this big winding and dining for isn't Telford. There is somebody else. Whether it comes off or not, don't know.
Yeah.
The signing hasn't been made yet. He said it's taken a little bit longer to get over the line, but that is apparently next.
They're going to be up there. Yeah, they're going to be right up there, I think.
It's still silly season just now, isn't it, though, for signings? Weird signings are going to happen all over the place still, I think. And as you've said, I think the league was so tight last season. I think it's going to be tighter this season again.
Yeah,
I think it will be. Honestly, I really agree with you, actually.
I think we're going to see a low scoring points winner.
It'll be sub 75 points wins the league this season.
Do you know what? I will say this about the league. No, I do completely agree with you. I think it's going to be a really competitive league. For the first time in a long time, I'm struggling who's going to go down. Because normally, and I've said, and I'll use us as an example. Normally, you get a couple of teams, don't you, who flirt with those relegation places for 3 to 4 years, and then they eventually go. A bit like Scunthorpe, a bit like Oldham, a bit like Yeovil, right? But this season, I honestly don't know who's going to be in those bottom two places. It could be anyone.
Right now, based on squads, it is Hartlepool for me, and that's it purely because we saw tonight Bogle going to Newport, and that my comment immediately when Bogle went to Newport was that is a strange deal for both sides. It makes no sense for either side. Newport have replaced Dom Telford with Omar Bogle. That's not a replacement, and Hartlepool don't have the squad depth yet to let Omar Bogle go. So I think right now, on paper, I mean, to be fair, right now, Grant, on paper, you guys would struggle to field a full 11 for the full season.
Yeah, 100%. We've got 3 goalkeepers, though.
Yeah. So, but this is the thing of, it's going to be, right now, Hartlepool are probably the worst squad in the league.
But I think Rochdale could be down there.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
Carlisle as well, but I purely said that because I wanted to piss off Carlisle fans, and it worked. And it still works to this day. I don't think Carlisle are going to be in trouble, but I'm going to put them in my bottom 2 prediction always.
I'll tell you what, keep your eye on Colchester as well. I don't think they've signed anyone, Colchester. I think there's real concerns coming out from their camp.
They had a bad season last year as well. They had a very bad season. So Colchester at the minute, I've got them here. Colchester they've signed 2. They have signed because they signed Sam Hornby from Bradford, the goalkeeper. And they've also signed Alex Newby from Rochdale, which I actually think is quite a good signing. But that's ins. They've released 9 players. So they've got a lot of work to do. Hartlepool, if we look at Hartlepool here,
16 players, I think.
Is it 16 players out?
That's how many we fielded the other day. So that's not including Bogle, not including Byrne, who's gone, and that was a trialist as well.
Yeah. Yeah, so at the minute you've brought in 6 players. Leatheran from Morecambe, who played the other day. Weird game. Matt, I don't know if you watched it. It was baffling. So
no, honestly, I didn't see it. No. So
Hartlepool played Hibs. They started the game playing left to right, and at 30 minutes there was a water break, so they swapped sides. Then half time came, they didn't swap sides, but then at 60 minutes they had another water break and swapped sides again.
Weird.
That's peculiar. Yeah, that's
twice. But yeah, it's all 3 of your goalkeepers played, Grant. So Leatheran, Tumilty.
He's not a keeper. He's a fullback.
No, I'm just reading your inbound. Then you've got Niang from Partick Thistle, who's a good signing. Jake Hasty. I think Jake Hasty's a perfect replacement for Luke Molyneux. I think we're going to see a lot from him this season. Alex Lacey and Ewan Murray. But yeah, you've got this. Ewan Murray looked great, but you've got a lot of work to do. A hell of a lot of work to do. Predicting who's going to go down this season is going to be very, very difficult. Colchester, like you say, they're going to struggle. I don't think you guys are going to struggle. You're going to be up there. Evans has recruited well. It's going to be. This season's going to be hilarious.
That makes me so happy to hear. Honestly, for the last 3 years, it's been, we're going to be down there again, aren't we? When someone says, "I don't think you're going to be that," it's like winning a league. Honestly, it feels
I'm going to put a pet hate out here, and Liam knows what's coming here. League predictions.
He hates.
So when you see people putting their fucking league predictors up on the League 2 Facebook page, like, oh, they'll come. Everyone's putting like Stevenage down the bottom, and I'm like, you don't know what you're fucking talking about.
Do you know who really pissed me off,
transfer
actually?
activity that's done. Like,
Do you know?
you're really counting them out.
Do you know who really pissed me off? Was it Lee Hendry? Lee Hendry or something like that. A pundit on Sky Sports. I think Stevenage are going to struggle. And I'm like, oh, come on, Lee. Do you know what I mean? You don't even know who we've signed. You're just looking at us from an out point of view.
Just a point on Lee Hendry's interview where he did say that. He named 3 teams to go down. So that just discounts everything Lee Hendry knows about League 2 football because he chose 3 teams to get relegated.
That's fuck all, does he?
I think he's... Luke Hendry who plays for us, that's his uncle, isn't it? So he played for us as well, did Lee Hendry at the back end of his career. So yeah.
Do you know what he's probably done? He's probably just looked at bookies odds.
Yeah.
And just went, oh, Stevenage, they're 6-1 to get relegated. Oh, let's just say them.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, literally. I just listened to that interview and I just thought, oh, come on, give us a break. Do you know what I mean? Oh, I know we're a smaller club, but, you know, we've made some good signings. Just you know, even just put us 17th. Just don't mention us in that relegation battle. Do you know what I mean? Like, crikey.
Where would you take as a bare minimum position for the end of the season?
Really good question. Look, being a smaller club, we always say, first of all, don't go down, stay up. But I think for us this season, you know, we have to start climbing that table. I think for me, going into this season, I'd like to see us at least mid-table. I think if we're able to hit 12th, I think that's a really big improvement. And then I think going on from that next season, that's a nice little platform that we can go into looking at playoffs or promotion. So for me, 12th place, mid-table, banging in the middle, try and get there. I think that's a really good season. But equally, if we hit somewhere like 15th, 14th, it's still an improvement. I think we understand at Stevenage that we're kind of at a new era now. So it's going to take time. I know that we've made some good recruitment in players, and I think this is going to be a much better season, but it might take a couple of years to start seeing any real growth and progress. So, start climbing that league table. But yeah, 12th place, I'd be over the moon with. Over the moon, yeah. Yeah,
I think that's a fair assumption. I think that there's one or two things going to happen. I think Sutton are going to struggle this year. I think that Sutton had a really good first season. I think they're going to struggle this year. But I also think that one of the teams that came down from League One is going to really struggle.
Okay.
And I think that it's going to either be Wimbledon or Crewe. And I'm not saying they're going to get relegated, but I think they're going to be bottom half of the table. I think they're going to really struggle to keep themselves up this season.
I was just going to say this about them teams, actually. Yeah, I agree. I think one of them... do you know what? I've got a funny feeling Gillingham might struggle as well. I don't know what it is about Gillingham, but...
They're talking a good game with Gillingham. This is the thing. Gillingham are talking a very, very good game on social media, and the manager, the things that he's saying seem to be all the right things, but it's just whether he can do them. But I think that there's going to maybe be a shock this year. Without being disrespectful, Grant, I think if Hartlepool were in the bottom two, it wouldn't be a shock for a lot of people.
Not right now, no.
But I think there's going to be a shock. I think there's going to be someone that's getting dragged into it. But, we'll find out. We're going to be doing quite a few of these episodes. I think Sunday we're going to be recording with the Stockport lads, which is going to be interesting.
That'll be interesting, yeah.
Well, Grant's going to love it because they've got Dave Challoner in charge.
It's going to be a Dave Challoner wank fest, isn't it?
Yeah.
Great.
Challoner left to go to Stockport. It's still a bitter subject. I'm so excited for it because they're my team as well. So we all drew names this season, 1 to 24, and whoever in that league position when the season starts at 0 points, that's who we've got to follow. So I drew Stockport. So I've got to next season go to Stockport as a home fan, vlog it, interview the fans, spend the day as a home fan. Grant's got to go to Salford.
I've got to go to.
And Chris, who's left us, we've told him he's still got to do it. He's going to Leyton Orient, which is going to be interesting as well.
Oh, that'll be very interesting. Yeah, Leyton Orient.
So, but other than that, Matt, thank you very much for coming on.
Whoa. Before we do it, remember, everyone that comes on, I've got 5 quick fire questions.
Oh, sorry, Grant, we had another thing.
I've got my 5 quick fire questions. Right.
We discussed this yesterday.
Oh,
Matt.
I'm excited now.
So I've just told you about the challenge that we did.
Okay. Look, I knew this was. I thought, oh, hang on a second here. There's going to be.
With each guest from each podcast that we bring on, we'd get them to spin a number, and you guys can do the same for us. You're going to go to a game at any point in the season. Go to one of their home games, vlog it, record loads of stuff, and send it over, and just basically have a good time. We'll yeah. So are you in?
100%. Oh, most definitely.
Yes.
Get me in on it. Get me in on it. I'm there, boys. I'm there. Get me in on it.
I'm gonna spin the wheel, and I want you.
Oh God, I'm so nervous now.
Right, I'm gonna take the branding off. I'm gonna take the branding off, and I'm gonna try and share my screen for you.
Oh, this is incredible.
That was the thing when Grant said we had more. I thought that's what he was going to say, but no.
Do you know what? This has literally been one of the most exciting things of my week. Honestly, I swear to God.
You must be having a really shit week. Right, so I am going to spin it.
I've got the standings as we are right now.
Oh my God, here we go.
No, I don't.
What are we going to get? Is it 19? Who is it?
It's Stevenage, I think.
No, stop it.
He's drawn Stevenage.
Really? No.
We've got to spin it again.
No, you can't have your own club.
Oh, God. That is crazy.
Right, we'll spin it again. Yeah, and that just had to happen.
So crazy. Go on, hit 19 again. Go on. Number 8. Oh, who's that?
Grant, who is 8?
Why is it? Hold on, it's already put Stockport at the top. It's not alphabetized the fucking clubs.
I've got it here. I've got it.
What we'll do is we will figure out. No, let's figure out now. Actually, let's do it.
You are going to Doncaster Rovers.
Doncaster. Oh, I'll take that. Just up the A1.
Yeah,
I'll take that. That's
not too
let
bad.
us know. It's only far. It's not far from us. Let us know. We'll
look.
So yeah, Doncaster Rovers is where you're going to go.
Wow. Okay.
Vlog it. Enjoy it. It'd be great.
Yeah. So now, obviously, I'm wearing my Stevenage gear up there. I mean, that's just happening, isn't it? That's got to happen.
The other rule is you can't go. It can't be when it's Stevenage away.
Oh, I was just going to say, could you imagine if I actually pulled it? And
because I was like, I've got Stockport. I can't go to Bradford Stockport, so I've got to go to a random. But Grant does have a thing that he's starting to do for guests. So
any guest that comes on, we've got 5 quick fire questions. So,
oh God, here we go.
Number 1, pressure's on. Who's the best Stevenage? What is the best Stevenage goal you've ever saw in person?
Wow, that is a great question. Best Stevenage goal.
Doesn't have to be like bins out of the box. It can even be a shit goal that's got meaning.
No. I know the goal. Ilias Chair away at Lincoln City, and we were losing the game 2-0. Ilias Chair was incredible for us. He was one of the best players we've had at the club, talent in terms of his talent. We were losing 2-0, and he scored a screamer to make it 2-1, and then he scored another screamer to make it 2-2. And it was incredible. The scenes, I remember our manager Dino got sent off at the time, and then he nearly scored another screamer to win the game 3-2. Yeah, it would be Ilias Chair away at Lincoln. That was incredible.
Was that from who didn't score 2 in that
game? He did. He scored. No, he did score. Did he score 2? Trying to think. No, I'm pretty sure he did. Pretty sure he scored both. That was that was against Swindon. So that was a couple of games after.
Right. I'm just trying to find it now on YouTube.
That goal. It's a really good question, because in terms of goals off memory, that was one of the best. But in terms of goals of meaning a lot, we'd have to go back to the times where we scored in the conference to get promoted and things like that. But on memory, as in a classic, really good goal, probably that one away at Lincoln, for sure.
Hey, nice.
Oh, my God.
So who's your favourite ever Stevenage player?
Oh, favourite ever Stevenage player? Oh, Mark Roberts. without a shadow of a doubt. He's one of the biggest legends at the football club. He was captain when the club won the conference and then got promoted from League Two to League One. Mark Roberts, hands down, centre half, brilliant player.
Isn't it? Easy. What's your go-to halftime snack?
Oh, that's a great question. Do you know what I really like? I'm liking a bacon butty, a bacon bap at the minute at games. I love getting a bacon bap, bit of ketchup. Probably that's my go-to.
Nice. What is your favourite away day or away ground?
Oh, that's a great question. Do you know what? I'm going to say this team. They're in our league. I'm going to say this team, and there's a little story behind it. I'll be really quick. I'm going to say Barrow away, and you two are probably going to go, what? Reason being is...
Even Barrow fans don't rank Barrow's ground.
I know.
The away game...
Do you know what's quite weird? The away game there this season, it's the last game of the season. It's on my birthday as well. But no, God's honest truth, the last time we went there, amazing story, the floodlights didn't work. So the game was delayed 2 hours. And just the story of the day, I got in at 4:30 a.m. I had a race the next day. I do a lot of running and I had a race the next day. And just on memory, I'd probably say that one. I'm looking forward to going back there this season, oddly.
Finally, you have made a lot of signings. But if you could make one more signing, if it was one player that you would bring in this window that you think would improve your team tenfold, not like a Messi or Lewandowski, a realistic signing.
Omar Bogle? No, joking.
He wouldn't improve any.
He would. He probably would. God, that's a good question. I would probably go... Oh, that's a great question. I would probably go and say, good player for us to improve our team. Do you know what? I would probably go for... oh, God, that is a great question. You've got me there, haven't you? No, do you know what? I've always wanted to see him at Borough. James Norwood.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think he's the sort of player, and I think he'd be a really good player under Steve Evans. Yeah, James Norwood.
Well, we'll
good answers.
Cheers, I enjoyed that.
Let me make a point. James Norwood, this is just out there. James Norwood, currently unattached.
Oh.
No club.
Oh, interesting. So, Steve, if you're listening to this, which I'm sure he will,
if Steve Evans is listening to this, he's going to be seething at the intro.
I can't wait to hear it. Oh, good old Steve.
We'll send it to you.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, I think that's it for me. Grant, do you want to do the outros? Matt, first of all, thank you very much for coming on. It's been great. It's good to know because Stevenage wasn't a club that we covered much last season. We had to cram a lot in the second half of the season, so we didn't get much coverage of you. So we're trying to get it a lot more this season. So that's a really good one for us. But yeah, thank you very much for coming on there.
No, fellas, look, thanks for having me. Anytime, want me back on? I'm more than happy to come back on and talk League Two football and Stevenage. No, thanks for having me on, guys.
I can't wait to see your Doncaster vlog.
Oh, do you know what?
For it.
And do you know what as well? It'll be the most positive vlog you ever watch as well. I swear to God, anyone that knows me knows that vlog is going to be so positive. I'm looking forward to it.
I think I'm quite intrigued to see somebody make a trip to Doncaster positive.
Yeah, that's going to be hard work. I'm going to get in there. I'm going to get in there with the locals with my Stevenage gear. I'm going to do a few interviews. Why not?
Oh, I'm trying to get in touch with. I'm going to try and interview Dave Challoner at Stockport. Me, just to annoy Grant.
You got to do it.
I've got a picture with him. It's fine. Leave it alone.
We got Grant a picture with him earlier in the season when he came down to the Bradford Hartley game. But Grant, do you want to walk us out?
Shall I? Again, guys, thank you very much for listening once again. Don't forget, give us a like on Facebook, share this post with this podcast out to all your friends. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. I believe this is going on our YouTube channel. Liam?
Yeah, all go on the YouTube channel now.
It's going on our YouTube channel. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We want to increase that. Retweet it. Like it on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter. Come and join us on our Discord community. We are looking to build the best League 2 community on Discord, not the League 2 Facebook page. We want you on our Discord page. It's a much better place to be. Listen to us on Spotify. Listen to us on Apple Music Podcast, whatever the fuck it's called on there. Rate us 5 stars on Spotify. Comment whatever the fuck you want. We don't care. That doesn't matter. Just rate us 5 stars. Also, big shout out to our sponsors, Wagme United. Thank you, guys. We appreciate everything that you do. I'm not going to forget that. Guys, thank you. We have been the Lower League Look.
Sponsored by Wagme United. That was how I was going.